One of our neighbors called the dog police on us yesterday. Can you believe that? I was here and my doorbell rings and I look on my camera and there was the dog police at the front door. Apparently, the new dog has been barking like a mad woman in the backyard while I'm away at work in the afternoon. I had no idea. How am I supposed to know? I'm not here. She's a new dog. I don't know all her habits, but so I'm going to do something a little bit different today, something that I'm extremely passionate about. A lot of you that have been following me for a while probably already know that I work in the dental field. I'm not sure that I ever specifically said what I do in the dental field, but I am an RDA, which stands for Registered Dental Assistant, and I've been doing that for almost 18 years. You encounter like a wide range of different people that come into the dental office, because if you think about it, like everybody has to get their teeth worked on at some point or another, whether you're coming in regularly for your cleanings like you should be doing, or if you just come in when you have a problem. At some point in your life you have probably seen a dentist. So we see everybody, and that's what I love about my job. Like, I get to meet and have conversations with so many different people from. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I have a list of about 12 things here. No particular order either. Number one, don't wait until you're called back to decide that you need to use the restroom. If you've been sitting in the waiting room for 5-10 minutes and we call you back and you ask to use the restroom before we put you in the room, that's so frustrating. Like, you've been here, why didn't you go? Like, it happens so frequently. I just don't understand it. Number two, use cell phone etiquette, guys. Like, we don't care if your cell phone makes noises. We don't care if it rings. Just don't answer it when we're in the middle of treatment. You would be surprised. It happens so frequently where somebody's phone rings and they're like, hang on, I need to answer this. And they say, hi, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm at the dentist. If you just let it ring and roll over to voicemail, clearly you can't talk right now. So I don't understand why you got to pick it up to tell the caller that. It's kind of silly. 3, if we ask you to stay open wide, please stay open wide. A lot of dental materials won't stick unless the tooth is really dry. And a lot of times when I'm working alone and I've dried the tooth off and I've asked somebody, like, can you please stay open wide? And I go over here to mix a dental material and I turn around, and just as I'm getting ready to apply it, that patient swallows. I could pull my hair out. Because when you swallow, it wets the tooth, and we've asked you to stay open so that tooth will stay dry. So it's not the end of the world. It just kind of like delays things. And a lot of materials, they set up fast, so we got to be fast. We're like, okay, number 4, it is a small dental world. And what I mean by that is, like, the dental community, we're pretty tight-knit. So if you've had a bad experience with another dentist, like, it's probably a good idea that when you get in our chair that you don't badmouth them and like state the name of the dentist, because we know these people. They're like friends. I'm not going to say all dentists are friends with one another, but like, we know each other. Like, it's just not a good idea. That's like somebody bad-mouthing your friend and you can't say anything about it. It's really, really difficult. Like, it's an awkward position to put us in. Number 5, your saliva does not turn poison when you become numb. Sometimes we numb people up and they just feel like they can't swallow anymore. And even when you sit them up when they're like, you know, you get your shot and then we give you a good 5 or 10 minutes to let that fully kick in. I have patients that will sit in the chair and like get my attention and point to their mouths because they want me to suction out their saliva. Like, there's nothing in your mouth right now that wasn't in your mouth when you walked in. I don't know why people do that. It's super weird. Like, I just want to tell them, swallow your own spit. Like, you swallowed it before you got here and you're going to swallow it when you leave. There's nothing different now. However, if we are like If the drill is going and we're doing treatment, don't swallow. That's another thing that drives me crazy. If we're like drilling out a tooth and you try to swallow it, it's not going to hurt you. It just grosses me out. Like, okay, number 6. Guys, follow your post-op instructions. I sound like a complainer, don't I? It's just really not that hard though. If you have something done like an extraction, or if you're wearing a temporary crown and we give you instructions to follow for a time frame, follow those instructions. It's for your own good. Especially the temporary crowns. That one drives me crazy. Also frustrating when there's an issue with the temporary that's caused by the patient not following directions, because we'll have you back and we'll remake that temporary, but it's like us doing a job that could have been prevented. Like, we don't always. 7, don't question on what's going on in the rooms adjacent to you. All dental offices are set up differently. It's not uncommon for dental operatories to not have doors on them, so frequently you can hear what's going on next door. It's happened numerous times where a patient recognizes a voice of somebody next door and they'll say, hey, is that so-and-so? There's something called HIPAA. If you work in the dental or medical field, you are very aware of what HIPAA is, but as professionals, dental and medical professionals, we cannot speak about other patients. So when you ask us, hey, is that so-and-so next door? That leaves us in a really awkward position. Also, don't ask about other patients that you may know come to our office. So if your Aunt Sally is a patient of ours, don't come in and during your visit ask, when's the last time Aunt Sally was here? Did Aunt Sally get her root canal finished? Like, we can't disclose any of that. So don't ask, because it puts us in a really awkward position. Number 8. I'm reading this, so I keep looking down. Don't get mad at us when we ask you to remove your piercings. There are some x-rays where it's very, very important that you remove your piercings. I know that it's a pain in the butt when you have little ones up here, or the nose, or the tongue, or the eyebrow, or this one, or these, or maybe all of it. It's gonna need to come out. I had somebody not too long ago, she had her earrings and like this was pierced and the eyebrow, and I asked her, I gave her a cup and I said, okay, can you please remove all of your piercings from the neck up? And so she removed all of them except this one, and we got to the machine where we take that specific x-ray, and I was like, oh, I needed that one to come out too. And she looked me dead on in the eye and said, I hate you. And I was like, that kind of took me aback, like, kidding or not, like, wow. That was a little bit aggressive for a piercing. 9. Okay. Frequently, we have people that whine about getting shots. The shots are for your own good. Like, it's a little pinch for a little bit. I feel that if you have a tattoo, any size, or especially if they're all over your arms, you're not allowed to complain about the shot. I mean, don't complain about a shot in your mouth. That's nothing compared to a tattoo. I can't say that from experience. I don't have a tattoo, but I can imagine that it's a little worse than a shot in the mouth, which I've experienced several shots in my mouth. And I feel like I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one, but that's okay, because I'm a mom. Parents, don't come back with your children. Even if, I know a lot of parents are protective and they feel like they need me, but if you make a big deal about being there and coming back with them and comforting them, that sets the tone for that child that something scary is going to happen. Even if they're there for a filling or to get a tooth removed, it doesn't have to be scary. I mean, that's another thing. At our office, we don't deny parents. If a parent wants to come back, we allow it. We don't love it, but we allow it. Usually when the parent comes back, it works the child up even more. So yeah. 11, I don't have that many fingers. I don't know why I started that, because now I can't continue. 11, don't lie about flossing. You've been asked at the dentist, lie oh yeah, I floss several times a week, or I floss every day. We know the truth. We can tell if you've been flossing regularly or not. We can also tell a lot of times if you're not a regular flosser, but you clean the hell out of your teeth before you came to the dentist. There are certain indicators that we can tell. So don't try to lie. And a lot of times, the only reason we ask that question is to kind of start that conversation, because if we know that you're not flossing regularly, we're not going to come out and like accuse you like, okay, so I see you're not flossing regularly. It's just kind of a way to start that conversation. That's all. So just tell the truth. And I think this is the last one, but this one, for some reason, it has always irritated me, and I couldn't tell you why, but don't ask the dental assistants if they want to be a dentist someday. Some of us, maybe they aspire to be a dentist, but then there are some of us like myself, like, no, this is my job, this is what I do, and I actually love it. There are a certain set of responsibilities that come with being a dentist, a certain amount of schooling and student debt and the time associated with that some of us just don't care to have. I'm a mom. That's my number one job. So I love clocking in at 8 and clocking out at 5, 4 days a week. I mean, it's a pretty sweet schedule. Yeah, I have no desire to be a dentist. In fact, you probably wouldn't want me to be your dentist. I would probably drop the drill on your face. So that actually wasn't the last one. I just remembered one more. Don't use dental terminology if you don't really know what these words mean, because you're going to sound really, really silly. I can remember one time this lady came in and she was having a dental problem, and she was complaining about another dentist, and she said, yes, I had a root canal that got impacted 2 times. And I was like, what does that even mean? I hope you enjoyed these little pieces of advice for visiting the dentist. If you have any questions or stories that you want to share, please leave it in the comments below. See y'all next time.